Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars, welcome to another PlayStation review. Today's review is for Lethis Path of Progress on the PlayStation 5. Now what is Lethis Path of Progress? Well, essentially it is a city building game with like a steampunk theme attached to it. Now those of you who follow my channel, follow my content, know I do a lot of content and reviews on city builder games. They're amongst my favourite type of games to play. I find them very, very relaxing if they're made right. And what can you expect to get from this game? Well, it's fairly cheap to pick up. It's not an expensive game at all. It's newly released on the PlayStation. It only came out a couple of days ago. And while this is on many levels quite a basic city builder, it does certainly do what you want a city builder to do, and it is very, very relaxing to play. However, it does come with some issues, mainly in regards to challenge. There's very little challenge here in this game. There's no threats, really there's no consequences for not doing things in timely manners. Not really. But if you're looking for a pretty standard pick up and play city builder that is very, very easy to learn how to play, this could be an entry level game for you gamers out there that have been wanting to try a game like this, certainly. Now the game comes with some limited modes, I think it's fair to say. You get quite an extensive tutorial, which I do recommend everybody do on any of these type of games. If it comes with a tutorial, it's definitely worth doing it. Even though I play a lot of these type of games and I generally know how they work, I always do the tutorial because sometimes they do things slightly differently and it's always good to learn how this game plays. So it comes with an extensive tutorial. It's pretty good tutorial. Even though there's no like voice acting talking through what you're doing, it's all text based throughout the whole game. There's no voice acting at all, so there'll be quite a bit of reading for you to do in the tutorial and things like that, but it is still quite useful. But again, it is one of those tutorials that doesn't hold your hand. It just kind of tells you what to do, not necessarily how to do it, but I never really found it too difficult to figure out what to do. Then you get a campaign mode, which is where I've been spending most of my time, and a sandbox mode. And the sandbox mode will speak for itself for those of you who play these sort of games. There is no multiplayer, unfortunately, so those of you looking to play a game like this with your friends, this will disappoint you. There is no multiplayer at all. And you've got a choice of how you want to play this game in a sense of you've got easy, medium and hard choices. To be fair, it doesn't really affect the game massively regarding on which choice you choose. Again, beginners to these type of games, I will always suggest start on the easy level, learn how the game works, and then if it's not giving you any kind of challenge, move the difficulty level up. So, what do we get here? Well, in regards to how the game looks, you can see for yourself, it's quite a pretty game, certainly for a city builder. It's almost cartoonish. It kind of looks a bit like a child's animated cartoon, really. It is quite child-friendly in that aspect. As your technology progresses in your society, you know, it becomes more steampunky in regards to the technology and stuff that you build. It is quite pretty. Now, unusually, for a city builder, there is no, like, research here. Normally, with a city builder, you have to kind of research new buildings and technology. That doesn't really happen here. Like, new buildings and things are unlocked as you progress through the game. As your city expands and as you upgrade your houses, new things will become unlockable. For example, when you start a new map, you might only have access to a certain number of buildings, but as you grow and your city expands, other buildings will become unlockable along the way. But every time you add a new building to your city, you have to then add new houses because basically you build houses and then settlers will move in and occupy those houses and then they become part of your population. So you can't just build and build and build and build. You have to kind of balance it out between building a few things, building a couple of farms and then maybe building a theatre or a store or something like that. and then you need to add a number of houses to compensate so that you get enough people into the city working in the right buildings so that you can keep the economy going and growing. And that is really the only challenge that you've got here, really, into the game. It's making sure you've got enough people in your city so that it can grow. And another kind of weakness of the game is it doesn't tell you or really explain in a detailed way on how to upgrade certainly your houses and things like that. And essentially they upgrade by your economy growth, if that makes sense. So as your city is expanding and growing and you're adding more businesses and adding more people to the city, it will expand and grow and that kind of stuff. And then your houses will then start upgrading. If you've got like a maintenance man running about and things like that, there'll be someone walking around your city that will kind of upgrade the houses as they walk past them, sort of thing. You also need to be placing like decorations to kind of posh up the place, and that will also encourage things to upgrade. Like the houses within the city will upgrade as you add new decorations. It will like make the dirt paths into pavements, all that kind of stuff. So it makes it all a little bit more pleasing on the eyes while your city has expanded and as it expands and grows. So you've got a whole array of different things that you can build. You've got your farms, you've got like water supplies, warehouses, town halls. The only real threat within the city is ghosts haunting your population. So you have to kind of build like an exorcist type business or building to kind of ward off the evil spirits. Other than that, there's very little in the way of threats. There's no like weather effects or anything like that. But if you don't look after your city, the buildings will crumble basically and demolish, and you've got to kind of rebuild them. So you've got to make sure you're keeping the whole city maintained by putting up enough like maintenance buildings and things like that. In regards to weaknesses for this game, well, it's repetitive. There's no real challenge here or threat. And to say it's a PS5 game, I wouldn't exactly call this optimized for PS5. You don't really get much in the way of graphic options or anything like that. There's no haptic feedback or anything. To be honest, you would no idea if you were playing this on a PS4 or a PS5. But this is a PS5 release that I am reviewing it on anyway. So from my perspective, while I have been quite enjoying this game, I think its limitations knocks its score down to 7 out of 10 from me. It's quite a basic city building game, but I do think it is a good entry level for people wanting to get into these type of games. It's very easy to learn, even though it won't give you much in the way of any real challenge. So I hope you found this review useful, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and of course keep your eyes out for loads more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.